Okay, fellas, what's up? Welcome back to Vlogmas. Today I wanted to come on and kind of talk about my 2020 glow up, which it hasn't been a 2020 glow up at all. It's actually been a glow down and then a glow up. And I'm gonna explain why today. So I wrote out like my whole thing because I want to make sure that this like talking video, I want it to be raw and unedited, but I also don't want it to be all over the place. So I wrote it out because I want to make sure like I get the point across of what I'm kind of gone through like this entire year and what 2021 is like looking like for me in terms like mentally, for real. For real? What? What 2021? Whoa! What 2021 is going to look like mentally for me. So this year, probably for a lot of other people as well, has been extremely rough mentally for me. And I think probably the main reason is because I have been alone in my apartment for the majority of the year. I moved into a big studio apartment last year around this time, and I just had so many high expectations for what the year was gonna be. I was like expecting to have a lot of friends over all the time and just, I don't know, I thought 2020 was gonna be my year, as everyone did. And obviously nothing that anyone really planned happened, and I think there was just a lot of alone time this year for me. It wasn't the best year to decide to live alone, let me tell you that, especially for an extrovert like me. And I just found myself alone with my thoughts a lot of the time, and I've known like even in the past that when I am alone with my thoughts, I just don't do very well. Like I just overthink, and it's usually not a good thing. So for the majority of this year, I just felt like I was thinking a lot of thoughts, and a lot of them, it just kept getting worse and worse. Like I just wasn't in a good headspace, and just thinking these thoughts, like it just led me down a path of like self-destructive habits, if that makes sense. And I don't know, if you're watching this video and this like does not apply to you, or you like have not experienced this, it probably makes no sense at all. But I would just have these thoughts and I just started acting on them, like self-destructive thoughts. Like, for example, not sleeping. Like I would just stay up until 2 a.m. and wake up at 7 a.m. for no reason. The 7 a.m. part wasn't bad because I've always been an early riser. It was just the going to bed at 2 a.m. that would be for no reason, and it would make me super tired all day long, and then in turn I would want to stay in bed all day and I wouldn't be motivated to do anything. So then I wouldn't do anything, and then that would make me feel worse about myself, and then just the cycle repeats over and over again. So that's just one of the things that I kind of found myself doing this year. And okay, other things that I wrote down was like, okay, not sleeping. I was not drinking water this year. I just decided to stop hydrating. I don't know why I was doing that. Just not taking care of my skin. I really, like, I wouldn't wash my face after I finished working out or like shower right away, and I knew my skin was getting worse. And I've always like had pretty good skin in the past. Like I haven't really dealt with much acne, which I'm really grateful for, but like, I don't know, I just found myself like being in bed all day, like just sweating a lot, working out. I just found my skin was getting worse and worse, and I wasn't really doing anything about it. And I was also not really cleaning my apartment very much. Like I would leave my apartment messy, or my kitchen would be just like filled with dishes and I just wouldn't do them. And yeah, I don't know. Also, procrastinating was something I dealt with this year, and dealt with sounds like the wrong way to use that, but I just found myself like not doing the work in time, or like just waiting until the last possible second to turn something in, or like do something, I don't know, or I don't know, or even like canceling on friends, or just like a bunch of self-destructive habits. We've got eating the wrong foods. I just found myself eating food that I know makes me feel bad and probably makes me break out. Overspending, like buying unnecessary things, like I bought an iPad and I don't think I really needed it, and that's like a really big purchase to not really think much about, and just like impulse spending. A lot of it was just like impulsivity. So yeah, those are a lot of like the things that I found myself doing this year. That's just a list of the self-destructive things. And what I realized was that a lot of this came from like negative thoughts I was having about myself. So I would be laying in bed all day and I would just be feeling bad about myself, so I wouldn't do anything to make myself feel good other than work out. Like I found triathlon and I love working out and it makes me feel really good, and I am glad that I had that in my routine this year. But these negative thoughts I would take action on them. So I would be feeling bad about myself, so I would buy something. Or I would be feeling bad about myself, so I would be like, I'm self-conscious and there's nothing I can do about it. People are gonna judge me, so I wouldn't post on YouTube like when I wanted to, or I just wouldn't film a video that day because I was feeling bad about myself, or I wouldn't post on Instagram because I didn't want people to like make comments, and you know, I just wasn't in the best headspace to be on social media because it can be a harsh place, like if you're not feeling good about yourself. So things that I was doing to numb that was like being on social media. My screen time must have like quadrupled this year. I found myself scrolling through TikTok all day long, and also like watching a lot more TV and just consuming a lot more content than I usually do. I'm not a huge content consumer, if that makes sense. I usually like am out and about either like creating content or just like, I don't know, hanging out with friends, doing other stuff. And I know like given the circumstances, a lot of it just had to do with like me being indoors, but instead of like creating content, I was consuming a lot more. And eating too, like definitely ate this year to cope with my like, I don't know, thoughts, or like numb my thoughts. And that's something I've like always dealt with just because I am like someone that deals with emotional eating. Just eating the wrong foods, eating foods that didn't make me feel good, and just doing it to numb out, I don't know, numb out the negative thoughts, which is probably something a lot of people deal with. But then, okay, turn around to this whole thing. I know this has just been me pointing out all the bad things that I did this year. Bad. But, guys, this YouTube video, I'm posting this because I am editing like this video that I filmed 3 weeks ago now, and I was back home for Thanksgiving with my family in California. And at this point, I was not treating my body well at all. I literally felt like garbage, and I knew it, and I just didn't feel like I had it in the power to fix it. I just was like, it was just a lot of self-pitying thoughts, and I just felt like I had like a great life. Like my life circumstances are like really awesome. I am just very blessed in my life, but I just felt like I couldn't get it together. And I was editing this video from like 3 weeks ago, and you can just like see how much of a difference it is compared to like now. 3 weeks later, like just taking care of myself for 3 weeks, how much of a difference it's made. And I saw it immediately in my skin. Like my skin now, though it's not perfect, like I mean it's only been a couple weeks, but like just drinking more water, getting sleep, and eating better, my skin has like drastically improved. My energy levels drastically improved. I don't find myself taking naps during the day. Like I don't know, I'm sleeping well at night again. Anyways, what caused this whole revelation of me like trying to get my life together, or actually taking control of my life, is just realizing that I am in control of my actions. And like, though I have these negative thoughts, I don't need to act on them. And I know this sounds like so simple, but I feel like for so long I just kind of fell out of control, like with my thoughts, my negative thoughts. I like felt like I was like compelled to act on them, if that makes sense. But I just realized like I am in control of what I do. I'm in control of if I get out of bed in the morning and like not act on the negative thought of staying in bed, like when I have things to do. And I realized that I can't take the action to do it, which sounds, like, saying it out loud, it just sounds so obvious. But I think when you're in that headspace, like it's just so hard to believe that you can do it. But like over the past 2 to 3 weeks, I have literally completely transformed my mindset and just like my life and my outlook on life just by like not acting on my negative thoughts. Okay, so basically what I wrote down here is negative thoughts don't need to be actions. I've like read a lot of self-help books over the last couple years, and I've found that like a lot of the ones that I've read have really helped me, but I think I just like was not putting them into practice this year. Maybe that's just because of the circumstances. Like I don't really know why I found myself like falling out of practice with them, but One of them is being like, even though you have these negative thoughts, you don't need to act on them. Like, you're not your thoughts, you're your actions. You are what you repeatedly do. I forgot what that quote is from, but I remember seeing it somewhere, and it sticks with me a lot because once you start like doing the things that you want to do, it just creates habits, and you're gonna do it over and over again. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at explaining things, but instead of numbing the thoughts that I had, I started processing them. Okay, for example, day-to-day basis. I wake up, I'm like, man, it would be nice to stay in bed all day. I let myself think the thought. I don't push it away. I don't start scrolling on social media and like numb it away. And again, that would just make me spend more time in bed. I let the thought be thought, and then instead of acting on it and staying in bed, I just get out of bed because I am in control. I literally am in control of my legs, and I get out of bed to do it. This sounds so simple when you just say it out loud, but I just know how much it affected me this year to like not think that way. So the biggest things for me that I learned over the course of the year is that not staying in bed has helped me a lot. And that means getting out of bed right away and getting dressed and starting my morning routine. I have not had a morning routine all year until the last like 2 to 3 weeks, I would say. And that means I get up, I get dressed in normal clothes, not an athletic attire, and I put on makeup. I am not a huge makeup wearer. I don't really find that I have like a ton more confidence when I wear makeup. I'm like pretty confident without it, which is why I've gone without it for most of my life, but I just find it gives that little extra touch of like motivation to get things done in the day, like seize the day. I don't really know what it is, but I gave one of my friends, she texted me, and she was like, I'm just feeling really bad about myself lately. Like, I just don't know. I feel like I'm in a rut and I just have no motivation, whatever. I told her to get dressed and put on makeup and just see how it makes her feel in the morning. And she literally, I kid you not, 2 days later, she texted me. She's like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize how much of a difference it made. And like, she just feels like she's back on track. And this has literally been over the course of the last 2 weeks, but I'm telling you, it helps so much. It helps so much. So that's one of the things. Also, dressing how I like want to look. You know, in the back of my mind, I've always had like this ideal of how I want to dress or how I want to look, and then I just started doing it. I want to wear that dress. Okay, I'm gonna wear it. Like, I don't know what I was waiting for. I feel like if I didn't have the right occasion, like I wouldn't wear it. For example, like this dress. I was like, when am I ever gonna wear this? And I was like, today. Today I'm gonna wear it. So I got up, got dressed, put it on, put a fur coat on. Why not, you know? And then deleting your social media apps. And this is so contradictory because I am a social media content creator, but for me, TikTok does nothing helpful for me. Yes, it entertains me, it makes me laugh every once in a while, but I would say 95% of the time I get off that app feeling worse about myself, and also 3 hours of my day gone because I'm just scrolling through content that I don't really find helpful. Like, maybe this is just me, but I feel like other people have to feel this way. Like, if I'm feeling this way, I feel like other people have to too. So I just deleted TikTok. I was like, I can't. This just provides no sort of value to my life, my day-to-day life. And let me tell you, it has helped me so much. Like, lowering the amount of content I consume, again, it's so contradictory because I'm making this to have you guys consume it on social media, but like lowering the amount of like unhelpful content I consume has been incredible. And also, kind of going off of that, I wrote down creating. This is why I've been very active on social media lately. Like, creating doesn't have to be social media, but it can be like whatever your creative outlet is. I know a lot of people that's like music or art. For me, it's like my food Instagram, especially. YouTube is always really fun. Like, these are my hobbies, and this is something that I love. These are things that I love to do, and I love to create content. So again, it's pretty contradictory from what I'm telling you to log off your social media apps, but just creating, like, I think having a creative outlet in your life like really helps you mentally. So that's another thing. Leaving my apartment, and doesn't matter if that's to get coffee for the second time of the day or to go return some clothes that I've been procrastinating returning. Leaving my apartment and not being like, I don't know, sitting on this couch or laying in my bed or even just like in my kitchen, like, I don't know, just like leaving this space and being outside or just interacting with other people, for me, has really helped me mentally. And also just doing the tasks that I haven't wanted to do, or doing the tasks that I've been procrastinating. It makes you feel so good when you've been putting something off and you just get it done. Like for me, I literally today I returned items that I've been not wanting to return because I was too lazy to go to Urban Outfitters for 1 year. I bought it a year ago and it's just been sitting in my apartment because I'm like, I'll do it later. And today I returned it, I was like, okay, that's $70 extra in my bank account that I was just like leaving sitting there for no reason just because I was lazy. Or doing the dishes. Like, just do them. It's so nice to wake up to a nice clean kitchen. And it just things like that, I feel like they kind of just keep adding on top of each other and making you feel better and better if you like, or just get the tasks done that you don't want to do and just don't think about it. I know you want to process it, like you can process the negative thoughts, but just act on the positive ones. Say you, okay, what are you procrastinating right now? Like think of something, okay? Yeah, do it. What's stopping you? What excuse do you have? This sounds so dumb. I'm not emotional. I'm not a motivational speaker. These are just like thoughts I've had in my head and realizations I've had over the past 3 weeks that I've been acting on, and it has transformed my life. And with that, I'm going into 2021 like this is the best mindset I've had in years. I think this is the best mindset I've had since, I don't know, since high school. Like this is probably the happiest like most myself I've been since high school. And I feel like a lot of people are noticing, and because it's like true, and I just know that this is going to carry over into 2021, and I have so many goals for myself and I just feel like I have not lived up to my potential, whether that be like athletically post college or just like even my own personal life. Like I just feel like I have just been down in the dumps, and I'm just taking control of my life now, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be down in the dumps anymore. So now I'm just taking the steps to be the person that I want to be, and it feels really good. So I don't even have any idea if this video made any sense at all. And I'm, again, not a motivational speaker, but I hope maybe that this can apply to someone else's life, or maybe if you're feeling down in the dumps, like try your best to not act on the negative thoughts. You can process them, you can have the negative thoughts, but you are in control and you don't need to take action on them. So that's the biggest thing I've learned in my life. I know it's a lot simpler than it probably like feels like it might be right now, but one of the first things I recommend is getting out of bed and getting dressed and putting on some makeup if you want. It helps a lot. It was the biggest thing that helped me, especially in terms of my own confidence level. Going into 2021, I am so ready to tackle this next year, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's gonna end the video. I feel like I should be on a TED Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. We've got big things going into 2021. I am healing my glute medius injury and back training now, so that's really exciting. I've got huge athletic goals for triathlon. I'm just so excited. I have so many big things planned, and yeah, I'm glad that you guys are following along, and I appreciate every single one of you fellas. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, fellas.